All right, we are back with another episode of the Trans Crack Girl podcast, and I'm here with Led.
Hey, hey.
So, the big thing that was recently announced was the Battlefield Legacy. I'll be listing that in the comments to the link for that. Originally, it was going to be Battlefield 1943, Bad Company, Bad Company 2, and Mirror's Edge that were being delisted, but that has been updated to show that is just the three Battlefield games that are being removed from marketplaces. So the big thing starting April 28th is those three Battlefield games are being removed from all digital storefronts and you can no longer purchase them. At the end of the year, at December 8th, then online services get completely shut down. EA's like, for Bad Company 1 and 2, you can still continue playing them in their respective offline features, such as single player campaign. If you want to play multiplayer, you're screwed.
That kind of sucks. Because even with like Call of Duty games, Battlefield has a devoted following of players that still stick to the multiplayer.
Yeah. Like, I remember playing quite a bit of Bad Company 1 and 2 on the 360 and spending quite a bit of time on that before I got Battlefield 3. And the fact that they're going to be shutting down the Bad Company series with the fact of not opening anything up to people to run like their own servers and stuff, not cool. It just feels like oh, what was that Battlefield game that was PC only? Not oh, it was Battlefield 2142 that was available on PC, which had the all the future stuff. I played that quite a bit back in the day, and it was fun. It was wild, but it was fun. But they shut that down. Let me check Wikipedia really quick. Yeah, July 2014. After 8 years, all online components of the game were deactivated. Uh, the multiplayer was revived by the community in 2016, but it got a legal notice from EA. So chances are we're not going to see community servers for the Bad Company series at all. And with how litigious that they can be, I have low hopes. The
That's the
article,
thing with a lot of game companies nowadays is like, because even Blizzard did it to folks that were running private servers for old, Warcraft Classic.
yeah,
Um, you know, the people who really truly enjoyed these games and wanted them to continue did all of this hard work on their own outside of, and most of them don't even get paid for it. Most of them run these as free services.
yeah, it's a passion project.
And then you have these companies that find out about it, and then all of a sudden they get lawyers involved, cease and desists, and things like that, and litigations over, something that they should just let go because A, it's not making the person any money. B, it's not taking any money away from the company other than the fact that people who don't like the newer games and don't want to buy and or play the newer games are hanging on to these old games to play, on these private servers.
Yeah, and a couple fan projects come to mind. One relating to the original Legend of Zelda. I'm not going to mention it for obvious reasons, because if it winds up becoming super popular and people really find out about it, Nintendo's infamous for being litigious in a lot of cases for those kind of things.
Oh yeah.
Conversely, X Labs and Plutonium for the Call of Duty series for a PC allows you to do like custom servers and crap for what is it? Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2, World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Advanced Warfare, Ghosts, and there's really been nothing from Activision.
Well, it's like there's one free to play. I'll call it a WoW clone because what they did was they took the WoW Classic era stuff and they changed it up, and it's the only private server style thing for WoW that still exists, and that's only because A, it's not called WoW, it's called something else, and B, while they do use a lot of the in-game data and uh, character models, world, things like that, the leveling and progression and talent systems are just completely, totally different. And I think that's the thing that's gotten them out of it.
Yeah. If it's something that like is a parody of it or parodizes some stuff, it needs at least 10% to be considered like parody from what I can remember. And although it's not fair use, it's less likely for copyright kind of stuff to be troubles to happen. And it's something that ties into game preservation as a whole and be able to continue playing and enjoying these kind of things when there's companies being like, oh no, we don't want you to do this, we don't want you to have access to this stuff even if it's through other means, because like that's our copyright, that's our protected property, but yet they're not doing anything with said property. And another thing that comes to mind is the eShop shutdowns for the 3DS and the Wii U systems. Like, there is one mad lad that bought the whole catalogs for both consoles. Spent like I think $30,000, and it's being donated to the. Those consoles are being donated to the Video Game Foundation, and just for preservation purposes.
I completely forgot about them getting rid of the 3DS and the Wii catalog of games. Because, like, I still play games on the 3DS. I have some of the Pokemon games on there.
Yeah, I've neglected to really redeem anything on my 3DS, so I blame my shoddy memory due to a number of things. Is what it is. Like if I can't find it or couldn't have bought it, there's multiple other ways to do it. Some of it's gray area, some of it's perfectly legal. The other is, well, I can't talk about that. It's a real shame, especially for the 3DS and the Wii U shops being shut down. Mostly because there's people like us that still use those consoles, but there's also the fact from a game preservation standpoint, they, yeah, US catalog based stuff is not going to be lost now due to that mad lad, but it's just contributing to artificial scarcity because this could have been prevented. And the unfortunate thing with the Wii U's are people are finding out that the NAND chips are starting to fail on the systems. Like I've been reading up about, especially with the, I think the Hynix NAND chips are really susceptible to failing on the Wii U's. And so the other ones are starting to brick the systems. It's starting to be reported on last week from what I've seen. But like with other flash-based storage systems that are going to be that are out, have been out, or will be coming out, that's going to be an issue in the next couple years, especially with the Wii U. Like I'm sure people will be able to mod the consoles to support different NAND chips, and they'll probably be at a premium cost. But there's going to be a lot of people that when they try to boot up their Wii U, it's not going to work for them. And that's a damn shame because that's their game collection right there. And not being able to access the shop anymore, even if they do get the system replaced somehow, they're shit out of luck. And that's a damn shame. I just wish that there'd be more active preservation done, like what was recently done with that guy. I'll link to that in the comments. Well, not comments, but the description, so as I can find the information in post. But God, seeing stuff like Bad Company and Bad Company 2, just to loop back to what we were originally discussing, to Shutdown, especially those two, like, it brought the game mode Rush. And I just have a lot of memories of playing that, and with those games and with Battlefield 3 and a little bit with 4. But, oh, if you just like us, if just like us, you have fond memories of playing Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2, Battlefield 1943, then please do share them with us. We'd love to hear from you, Dyson Battlefield teams. Like, come on. I know it costs server overhead to be able to run these kind of things, but you still have people playing them and trying to get the games to be able to play them. And considering that there's other major games in that's being released by them, like they can be able to support it. Like take a look at Call of Duty. Even though online services for the Wii have completely shut down from Nintendo anyways, Activision's servers still run Modern Warfare and Black Ops 1 on the Wii. People can still find matches. Isn't that fucking wild?
Well, I mean, that's like you can still, if you have a PS3 and you own the original, Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, like you can still find matches in those old games like that too on the PS3.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit harder with the PS3 if you don't have a certain aged account requirement because of how name registrations were handled or changed to the PS3. But it's yeah, it is still possible. It's still surprising to me that they still support on the Wii. And I won't be surprised if that still keeps up, since people can find matches to this day and be able to do that with Black Ops 2 for the Wii. I mean, the Wii U. Because I can only imagine that about a year or so from now, they'll be sunsetting online services, period, for the Wii U and the 3DS. All of this has just left a very salty taste in my mouth, and I don't like it.
I mean, that's understandable, especially when these multi-million-dollar companies decide to stiff the player base that's dedicated to certain titles of theirs.
Yeah, and it's not just like multi-million, but it's multi-billion for in some cases. I will give Activision props for at least keeping stuff for the older servers going. Now, if they'd fix the remote command exploits in some of their older games on PC, that'd be nice. It's kind of why I like using XLab so I can play MW2 on custom servers. I don't have to deal with this it through Steam. Hell, since I own the disc for COD 4, I could still find servers to this day with base COD 4 or COD 4X, or even find pro mod matches still. But I'm going on a tangent. God, it's usually a lot more feels a lot more chatty when Ellie's here, and well, I'm gonna have to give her grief after this.
Well, she stays a lot more up to tune on a wider variety of games than I do. Like me, I mostly stick to the MMORPG genres, so World of Warcraft, Diablo, um, Final Fantasy 14. Here lately, I've been super hardcore into Elden Ring. I'm already at like what 70 something hours in,
Oh gosh,
72 hours into Elden Ring, and I'm level 220.
that is wild.
I actually just recently started a new game plus, so I'm actually working on my second playthrough to go back and redo some of the quests that I didn't do on my first run through. Which my first run through, I actually got one of the secret endings for it. So,
Yeah.
luckily enough, there's actually a Discord server dedicated to Elden Ring, and a lot of the players are super helpful. There's literally co-op chat channels for each console, i.e., PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and I play on PS5. But you can literally, if you're having trouble with a boss, you can drop a thing in there. Hey, can anybody, give me a hand with this boss? And a lot of people will answer, and they'll pop up, and drop a summoning sign, and you summon them in, and y'all go in and nuke the boss and go about your day.
Right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for tonight's podcast. I know it's a day late, but I'm still trying my best to get this recorded through a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm dealing with my pain levels. And I thank you for coming on like usual. keep me company and have someone to banter back and forth with.
I mean, you know me. I'm always around.
So we will be back next week and hopefully find some engaging news to talk about. See you next time.